Here's a breakdown of gun violence in just this month alone. Gun violence in 2023 so far. Total number of gun violence deaths, 2,801. Suicide, 1,584. Homicide, murder, about 1,200. Teens ages 12 to 17 killed, 99. Children ages 0 to 11 killed, 21. And again, we are at the beginning. We're at the sunrise of the year 2023. And all of that violence and sadness in just one month, what is the common thread? Guns. Columbine was supposed to be a wake-up call. It wasn't. Sandy Hook was supposed to be a wake-up call. It wasn't. The Las Vegas massacre that left 60 people dead was supposed to be a wake-up call. It wasn't. Uvalde was supposed to be a wake-up call. It wasn't. We've become too numb. I've said many times on this show that we don't even take the time to collectively mourn those we have lost. So whether it's through gun violence or it's because of the pandemic, we as a nation do not take our moments to collectively mourn the loss of lives in such traumatic and deadly fashion. We just keep on going about our day as if everything is okay, but everything is not okay. You know, something that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, and he's one of the most quotable human beings that ever walked the face of the earth. But Yasmin, I'm thinking about when he said, what affects one directly affects us all indirectly. And so the point that you were making about the political types and how they answer to the NRA, their God, their owner donors, these are the reasons why the needle is not moving, not only on the use of gun violence, that mass shootings, but just even in how we deal with guns as a nation. I mean, you got some people out here who truly believe that the Second Amendment is an absolute right, that they do cling to those guns more than they care about anything else, and do not give any thought to anybody else's rights at all. I mean, this is mind numbing, it is mind blowing. And people can go on about the Second Amendment, on and on and on. But we have a problem in this country. And as a reminder from yesterday's show, the Second Amendment is indeed not absolute. In other words, it is no more important than the other parts of the United States Constitution. How about the preamble to the United States Constitution? Is that preamble important as well? I would hope so, which is exactly why we finally need to have some federal regulations happen along with a whole host of other kind of social and emotional tools to help us through this as a country. So HR 7910, Protecting Our Kids Act, generally prohibits the sale or the transfer of certain semi-automatic firearms to individuals who are under 21 years of age, establishes new federal criminal offenses for gun trafficking and related conduct, establishes a federal statutory framework to regulate ghost guns. We need that to happen. It's common sense to enact gun reform instead of politicians just tossing up their hands with thoughts and prayers. Look, I believe in thoughts and I do believe in prayers, but I also believe in action. Because from the Christian Bible perspective, it says that faith without works is dead. So we need some of these elected officials to put some work, some action behind this so-called faith. This does not have to be this way. We need comprehensive universal health care for all. We need to make sure there's a difference between people who have been diagnosed with a mental health condition and people who are having a mental illness breakdown in the moment. Two different things, because far too often we want to blame this on people who already have diagnosed mental health issues, and it does a disservice, it's an insult, because the vast majority of people who have been diagnosed with a mental health challenge are not out here picking up guns and killing folks. On the other hand, mental illness itself is real. And what is the psyche of America right now? We need a healing like no other, and we need some action. our thoughts and our prayers. I am going to say that. I do believe that our thoughts and our prayers do go out to all of the victims of this gun violence and to each and every one of us, because we are all connected to the next person that may be suffering from this directly. And then we need elected leaders to do something about it. We have the resources to do something about it. You don't hear about this in other industrialized countries. You want to know why? I'm so glad you asked me. You don't hear about this in other industrialized nations because they do not cling to the gun in the same way. There's not an overproliferation of guns in those other nations like it is now. Trust me, folks, we got a problem on our hands, and we collectively can solve that problem together.